Welcome everyone to podcast number 20. It's super excited. We're definitely in the double digits now. Ooh, coming up to our 21st. I'm so excited. And I just wanted to bring you content this week on the inner child. It's coming up a lot with my clients. It's coming up for me as I do my work, and I'm seeing a lot about it in my feed. So I just thought I'd connect with you today, talk about inner child and what's coming up for us all. So what is the inner child work anyway? Well, the best way for me to describe it is that there are things that happen in our childhood, and we really form our values and beliefs between the ages of 0 and 7, 0 to 4 predominantly, and then also up to 7. And so that shapes our values and beliefs. And sometimes there's also particular incidents that happen to us as children, and we give meanings to those. And then those meanings stack on. Often we can attach a negative emotion to that meaning, and those things stack on through our life and sit in our little subconscious. And interestingly, most of the decisions we make are from our subconscious, 90%, they say. So here is this event that's happened. We've given it a meaning. It can often be a negative meaning, sometimes positive, but often a negative meaning, and we attach a negative emotion, and that sits there. And as we start to do the work in our adult lives, we can sometimes uncover something that's happened into our childhood that's holding us back. And that's what's really coming up for our clients. So let me share a really personal and vulnerable one with you now. So I don't know what age I am, but I am in year 2 to 3. So I'm pretty young. So I'm like 6 or 7. I'm waiting at the school gate with my pillow and my backpack. I'm waiting for my dad to pick me up for the week on, week off rotation in my separated family. And I'm waiting at the gate and he never comes. So as a small scared child, I attach then, and also I had a teacher that was a bit cranky with me because it's Friday afternoon and she wanted to go and she's stuck with me at the gate. So all of that experience essentially I gave it a meaning that I'm not worthy. If I was enough, that he would come for me. Not lovable, all those kind of things. And as I worked out later on in my childhood, I had carried that with me. And so then I had worked particularly hard in my roles and in my jobs to be worthy. So I put my whole self-worth in my accomplishments in my role, and basically almost drove myself into the ground trying to be worthy. And it wasn't until I did the work around why am I not good enough, and why am I a perfectionist, and why am I driving, and why am I a burnout exec, and why do I have all the things I desired, the family, the husband, the job, the house, why do I have everything I desire and I am so unfulfilled, exhausted, and I feel quite lonely? So that is the work. So interestingly, as we work with coaches or self-help or listen to podcasts or read books, we can work on being the best version of ourselves, but it gets to a point where we recognize and we're aware of something deeper that we need to shift. And that's normally where our inner child work comes in. So obviously it's very powerful, because if you do have something holding you back, it may be creating fear in your life and just holding you back. It may be just on repeat in your subconscious and you don't know, but you just feel like, oh, I just can't take the next step and I don't know why. Or you have a connection with this deep pain or trauma from your childhood that you just can't shake. And you want to process. So that can normally indicate inner child work. Now, as you know, everyone who loves and trusts me knows I don't pretend to be anything that I'm not. I'm not qualified to do the deeper work that a psychologist would around inner child. I'm just simply sharing what I've learnt and what I've learnt from my mentors and what's working for my clients. So if you do have that deep-seated trauma or you need help and you don't know where to go, reach out to me. I also recommend Lifeline, and we can just connect on a deeper level, but we're playing at the surface here today. So why is it important? It's important to do the inner child work if you feel you're ready and you feel like you've done all the work you can, but there's still just got some barriers holding you back. It's important so that you can process any past events that have happened to you and really neutralize them, so that you can get past any fear, so that you can understand yourself more deeper. So perhaps maybe you could forgive yourself or forgive others, but it's really about the healing. Being able to heal and be so whole, have gratitude for what your childhood was, have gratitude for your inner child, and start connecting with your inner child now as an adult. It is super, super duper fun. My kids always just marvel watching me connect with my inner child, because I am often quite driven. I got my processes and all this happens. So when I play in the child space, they absolutely love it and they light up, and sometimes they just sit and observe. I think it's so cool. So it might be, I might head down the street without my shoes on because I just don't feel like shoes. It might be I decide to dance and sing in the middle of anywhere, and they're like, "Are you sure, Mum? Are you going to do that like right now for real?" And I was like, "Yeah, watch me." And they're like, "Oh, here she goes again." And I will dance like no one's watching. Well, let me give you the most recent example. Was Mother's Day. We ordered click and collect. Hubby said, "Why don't you relax in the car with the kids?" Like, I don't know if that goes together in the same sentence, and I'll duck up and get the shopping. And I was like, "Oh, okay, darling." So after about 2 minutes, they were picking and fighting, and I was like, I'm done with that. So I said, "Right, let's have a treasure hunt. We're going to clean out Dad's car." So I opened up all the car, got everything out. This pile's rubbish, this pile's for things we want to keep, and we start, cleaning the car. I've got them busy. And then I found an old CD book, and I was like, amazing. Put the CD in. I don't know if you know PY2 by Michael Jackson, Pretty Young Thing. It's got a groovy beat. Just got goosebumps then. So I popped it in the CD player and I cranked it, and we're in an underground car park, right? So it is bellowing. And I start dancing, and the kid's like, "Mom, I think you should turn that down. That's a bit loud. Oh, we shouldn't be doing this." And I was like, "Let's do it. It's not hurting anyone." And like, it wasn't screaming loud through the car park, but it was like noticeable, right? And I was dancing, cleaning, just getting into it, having fun. They were like unsure. They got into it. By the end, my son was like rocking it out, and then strangers were rocking it out with him, and they were laughing. And then my kids were looking at me going, "Look what we're doing. We're having a positive impact on these people." I'm like, yeah, they're having fun too. Super cool. So that's what inner child kind of looks at. Sometimes it's chocolate for breakfast. Oh, crumbs. Sometimes it's cartwheels on the beach. It really doesn't matter. What's important though is that you just stop every now and then and ask yourself, what would my inner child really want to do? What would that 2-year-old Jody, 3-year-old Jody, 5-year-old Jody, 12-year-old Jody, like, what does she really need today? Particularly when you're not feeling great. It's so good to connect with that. So how can you start? How can you start the work? All right. So if you've been doing your self-development for some time and you really just want to start working on a deeper level, you can reach out to me. There are processes I take you through one-to-one coaching. Obviously, I take my clients through it in some of my programs as well, and we dig deep on this on the retreat. So if you do imagine yourself in tropical Port Douglas, 2 days with me in the most stunning villas on earth, the most stunning ones I've ever been to so far, and just immersing yourself in this work, send me a DM. I have 2 early bird tickets left, so it's a savings of $1,000. So maybe today's your day. We can do heaps of inner child stuff there. So immerse yourself, number 1. Number 2, if you just want to get started with the basics, just ask yourself, just tune in, big deep breath in, big deep breath out, and imagine yourself as your 5-year-old self, 7-year, feel into what age you think it needs, and just ask yourself, what might they like to do right now? Maybe it's down a chocolate milkshake. Maybe it is shoot some hoops at the park. Maybe it's paint their nails pretty. I really don't know. You'll know what's right for you. So you can immerse yourself in the deeper work with me, or I can connect you with someone else if it's, some more qualified work that you feel you may need. Definitely feel in and ask yourself, what would your inner child really need right now? And the other way is to journal. So if you just can't connect with it, you can't switch it on, I invite yourself to write a letter to you as a child. If you've got a photo of them, a photo of you as a young child, like get it out, look at it, talk to it. I know it sounds weird, but it really is going to help you connect. And just say, dear 5-year-old Jody, really want to connect with you in your past. I love you. I'm just feeling into what you really might like today. Can you? And I'm asking my subconscious to tell me, what does my inner child really desire today? If it's new, it can sound quite woo-woo, but I involve you to try it on. Like, one of my favorite things is coloring. It's so good for mindfulness and connection and presence. It's awesome. Coloring in, painting, creative expression, right? We lose that as children. So I invite you to do that. So the benefits of connecting with your inner child, right, is about mindfulness and presence. Have you noticed how children are just fully aware? So you might be walking down the footpath and they just stop, like, ooh, look at that rock. That rock's different to that rock. I wonder where does that rock come from, Mum? And it's all this sensory curiosity in the moment. They don't mind, like, if the bus is coming or you've got a meeting, it doesn't really matter. That's what the pure joy of inner child is, and the mindfulness. So tap into that. It's a really, really great way to heal. So if you want to connect back with your child self, you can go back to where you were as a child, where you used to play, the things you used to do, the parks you used to go to. And if you can access them, just sit and connect with them. Maybe you can't access them physically, but you can in your mind, in visualization. And just imagine yourself there, like the smell, the sounds, the feeling of what is it, the grass on the ground, what is it? And can you connect with that? And the last benefit I recommend around inner child is connection with your children, or those other children you care for, or children in your space, because it's so easy for you to relate to them from your inner child, not from your adult self. So last night, my daughter was really struggling with her maths, and I was speaking to her as a child. Well, could you consider this and perhaps this? And I was like, oh, hang on. Let me just feel into what it was like as, a 7, 8, 9-year-old sitting there doing my homework, telling myself I can't do this. And I could hear her language, like, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I want to choose something else. This does not bring me joy, Mum. Oh yeah, I was getting it all. And I just tapped into it, and I thought, what do I really need for her? And what did I need at that time? And I said, I needed someone who was going to hold my hand and partner with me and show me the way and guide me and cheer me on and help me. So I just inspired that, and we got it done, along with a little maths coaching from my husband before I got onto the task. God bless him. So connection's really important. So why do the work? Because most likely it's holding you back. It's going to enrich your life. It's super, super fun. It increases your mindfulness and your presence and your connection with the children. And it's so powerful for healing. So powerful. So I invite you just to tap into that. If you want to dig a little bit deeper, why don't you come to my half-day workshop? This is recorded, so my next one's on the 5th of June, but we have them happening every 8 weeks. So stick along to the end of the show and you'll find out how to access your free ticket. God bless you. God bless your inner child. God bless your children. God bless you if you desire children. I know what that road is like, and praying for you all. Take care. God bless, and have a beautiful day.